criminal defense attorney and former Los Angeles County prosecutor Josh Ritter. And Josh, you know, we want to talk about this idea of murder, and we've sort of bandied this about, and whether we can actually foresee a conviction for murder and not just the conspiracy, for a number of reasons, not the least of which that may be something that may make the family feel more complete in this case and get some sort of closure. Again, just want to get your thoughts on whether you think that might be enough. This hair, and again, connected with all the other things we've heard, there was a hair found on duct tape that was found on JJ.
I bet Josh says that's not enough, but I'm just guessing. I didn't mean to answer for you. Let's see what you say.
Well, here's the thing. If they had nothing, you can be sure that the defense would have pointed that out. If there was absolutely no DNA and no forensic evidence connecting her to either of those children's bodies, you can imagine how the defense would try to focus on that. So the fact that there was this one piece of hair, I think, is important. And I think it does at least forensically tie her to some extent to their bodies. Now, the defense is obviously going to make their arguments about how that hair could have gotten there. But it all comes back to, like we've been talking about, that question of knowledge and furtherance and agreement beforehand. But to answer your question, Michael, about do I think that this case has enough so far to convict her, you're asking 12 people to the defense, I'm saying, is going to be asking 12 people to acquit this woman for these horrible, horrible murders where she behaved in a way that is so disgusting to these jurors, in a way that no one can fathom. No one can wrap their heads around how a mother could behave the way that she did after their deaths. That I think you're right. They're going to use a lot of that, what I call consciousness of guilt evidence, as evidence that she was somehow a part of this to begin with. My point has been that we haven't seen that phone call. We haven't seen that forensic evidence. We haven't seen that cell phone evidence, GPS monitoring, and all these types of things that have tied other people to the murders with her. But I think that just maybe her behavior alone might be enough to push these jurors over the edge.
Her behavior alone, but I think the other aspect of this is that you have the unimaginable, 2 children, right? If it wasn't 2 children, I think maybe it wouldn't be that same visceral reaction I think a jury is going to have. But when you keep in mind it's her 2 children, minors, that are killed, I just think that adds to the weight of the jury's decision. Yeah, that's possible. But here, I got another piece of evidence that was presented at trial. I'm going to read this to you, and I want to see if it changes your opinion about the hair found on JJ. This has to do with phone records on the night and the morning after the last time JJ was seen by Melanie Gibb. That was on the night of September 22nd. So let's call that up. It's a timeline of JJ's disappearance. All right, all right, it'll come up in just a second. So that he was last seen on September 22nd by Melanie Gibb. September 23rd, in the morning, 3:59 to 8:35, Chad and Lori are sending texts to each other, okay? Now, 9:25, Chad calls Alex. Then from 9:27 to 9:37, Chad and Lori's phone interact again. Then at 9:45 to 9:49, Alex comes within at least 100 meters of Lori's Wi-Fi signal. Then he moves on to Highway 20, which takes him out to the house, and we know his GPS puts him at the house. At 10:02, Alex's phone is close to where JJ is buried. All right, 10:13 to 10:17, there's interactions between Chad, Lori, and Alex. So you put that all together with the evidence that the hair was found on the duct tape, not on his clothes, not on his body, but on the duct tape. It suggests to me that during that time, they're talking about what's going on. She has the time and opportunity to kill her son. Alex comes by, picks him up, takes him to the property, and buries him. I think it's fair to assume, when you put those 2 together, that there might be evidence that she committed that murder.
Michael, that was an excellent closing argument. I hope the prosecution does that. You're absolutely right, though. If they're able to wrap it up, because we're seeing this evidence as it comes out, but if they're able to wrap it all up in a way that's easy to understand in the way that you just did, I think they might be able to bring this home for the jurors.
All right, stay with us. We need to take a break.